Good morning and welcome to Fox 10 News' coverage of the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama. I'm Eric Reynolds.
And I'm Sarah Wall. Good morning, everyone, on this Saturday. We are taking a live look in Selma, Alabama. Fox 10 News does have several crews there as we get ready to commemorate this 50th anniversary.
Roughly this morning around 11:30ish, we'll be covering the arrival of President Obama as well as planned activities in the later part of the day as well. This was 50 years ago as you're looking at video of Bloody Sunday in Selma, where about 600 marchers were attacked by police, both state and local police there, which shocked the nation.
Good morning and thanks for joining us here on Fox 10 News on this Saturday morning. We are continuing our coverage of the 50th anniversary of the Bloody Sunday March in Selma. Bob and Lanice are both there. Want to check in with them to see how things are shaping up this morning. We're expecting huge crowds. Bob and Lanice.
We are live here in Selma for Selma 50 years later, and anybody who is anybody is here right now.
Absolutely right, Bob. Immediately to our right, he's right here. We can see the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Earlier, we saw the Reverend Al Sharpton walking by. We spoke with Governor Robert Bentley as well. A lot of people are here to remember what happened in Selma 50 years later, but also to talk about what work is still yet to be done. It is crowded, but everyone is excited about being a part of this historic moment, just being able to reflect on what happened in this community. We've got the Edmund Pettus Bridge right over to our back here, and momentarily we're going to see some of the dignitaries get up and speak about what change they'd like to see happen in this area.
Everybody wants to talk to everybody who is here. We're seeing people who were marching 50 years ago. They're being interviewed, as well as the people that you would recognize on the street. They're all here as well.
Yeah, and as I'm looking around, just to give you an idea of where we are, this is the area that you get to right after you clear media access. And so where you see all the people that are crowded down at the back end there, that's where most of the media people have set up. So there are a lot of high risers there. And then closer towards the street area is where you have a lot of people who are just waiting to see the events get underway. I do have one question to ask you before I let you go, because they're telling us to move along. What were you thinking when you took that first step out on that bridge?
Let me tell you, it was not just on the bridge. Everybody says that on the bridge. But hell, they were beating us on the bridge and off the bridge and down the road. They were just beating us all over the place. But the most dramatic part of it was on the bridge.
There we go, touching down. All right, Air Force One is safely at Maxwell Air Force Base now in Montgomery. There we have the President and First Lady Michelle Obama disembarking from the plane, along with their daughters, and I believe that Mrs. Obama's mother is also. We will see her coming down with the first family as well. And right now we're in fact looking at Marine One, and the other accompanying aircraft are a part of this, including President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama. They're in Marine One headed to Selma. Looks like, Sarah, we should be expecting a landing here coming very shortly.
Yeah, it looks that way, Eric. We're keeping our eye on that for you. And this is video of them taking off. We are expecting them to land there in Selma in just a little bit this afternoon so the president can deliver his remarks.
We haven't seen any evidence of a helicopter yet. Usually the president travels with a number of helicopters, so no one really knows which one he's in. We know that he's in Marine One. Here comes some more vehicles across the bridge with their blue lights flashing. Cheers coming up from the crowd. Those are the limos carrying the president and the first family. You can tell by the flags on the front. So he has arrived. We're waiting to see him leave his limousine. Remember, he touched down a short time ago aboard Marine One. You can see all of the tents are set up, so when he gets out We probably won't have a clear view of him, and that's intentional, of course. It's all for security reasons. We've seen Secret Service snipers on the top of buildings here, keeping an eye on the crowd. But of course, all this is done for the security of the first family. He'll come in through those tents and probably come right across. You can see a series of a big tent where a limousine pulled in. He'll walk through those tents, which go right by the front of the Selma Journal newspaper, and then he'll walk across over to the podium.
First, want to bring you up to speed. We are awaiting President Obama's remarks at the ceremony taking place in downtown Selma. You can see right here, this is a live picture. There's a podium set up. If you look underneath those traffic lights there's the podium. Just behind the podium is the Edmund Pettus Bridge, where everything happened 50 years ago today. Eric is joining us now, too. He has County Commissioner Merceria Ludgood. I want to go over to y'all now.
All right, thanks, Sarah. We've been talking throughout the morning with our special guest about the significance of this as well as the feel, and you just happen to see some of the thousands who are there packed closely to get a chance to hear President Obama just a couple of hours up the road here from Mobile today. We were talking about the significance of this and the importance of passing on a legacy to the younger people in the state and our county and our community. How do we reach them? You were talking earlier about one of your relatives who, despite some of the exposure that he thought he had growing up in certain places, things are missed because it's not taught in the schools.
Well, it's vigilance, and I think that's the only way I can describe it. If we, today, the commemoration, this event today is an event, but it's got to become more than that. It's got to be almost a lifestyle where we have constant reminders of where we've been. You know, we have Black History Month, and sometimes it's covered and sometimes it's not. I don't know how fully it's covered in textbooks now. I'm not sure about that. But people who know have got to make sure that the people, their sphere of influence, that those people know and understand.
So we're going to check in with Bob and Lanice, who are in Selma. Their vantage point is a little different from ours. Hey, guys.
That's right. We're very close to the podium right now. In fact, we've seen a couple of members of the first family start to approach the podium.
Yeah, we saw them arrive to the VIP tent, and then we saw them make their way out, specifically Sasha and Malia, the president's daughters. I also saw Attorney General Eric Holder making his way to the podium.
It is a great honor for me to return to my home state of Alabama, to present to you, not to introduce to you, but to present to you the President of the United States. If someone had told me when we were crossing this bridge that one day I will be back here introducing the first African-American president, I would have said, you're crazy, you're out of your mind, you don't know what you're talking about. President Barack Obama.
We just need to open our eyes and our ears and our hearts to know that this nation's racial history still casts its long shadow upon us. We know the march is not yet over. We know the race is not yet won. We know that reaching that blessed destination where we are judged, all of us, by the content of our character, requires admitting as much.
As we reflect on this weekend and all of the events that happened, what do you make of all of this? What's your reaction? We want to hear it.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. So, and also use the hashtag Selma50, which will also help you find other people's comments as well and other people's pictures. We know a lot of people are trying to send pictures, and it's kind of difficult. And I know a lot of pictures are being taken right now as the president works the crowd a little bit. You can see a number of iPads and iPhones in the air.
It was certainly a treat to be here and experience this moment and deliver this moment for you. We certainly hope that you enjoyed our special coverage.
It isn't every day that the president comes to your state. So thank you very much for joining us. Have a good day.
We thank Bob and Lenise also for the great coverage there live in Selma today. It's been quite an eventful day and exciting in many ways.
Absolutely, and a good way to look back and reflect on what happened and where our country has come and where we may still need to go.
So true. Thank you for joining us throughout the day here at Fox 10 News. Of course, online as well as fox10tv.com. That information will be there for you the rest of the time. And of course, tonight at 9, more coverage from the activities at Selma today.
And we will continue to cover the events tomorrow. We know that the march is planned for tomorrow, and Fox 10 News does have a crew there for what's happening in Selma tomorrow as well. So thank you for spending your Saturday with us here on Fox 10 News.